Right, buddy, this is the latest Manchester United news. We'll be talking about Victor Gyokeres to Manchester United, a huge Mbuemo boost, Garnacho exit, and some other interesting updates as well. But we're going to start off by talking about the Gyokeres news. Now, there's been a lot of updates of the Gyokeres situation. Some stuff that we've already known, to be fair, but some interesting news from Fabrizio Romano. Now, he said this on the Gyokeres situation. With Champions League football, I was 99% sure that Manchester United will close the deal very quickly. That was the feeling. Juventus as well as Manchester United also had contact regarding a possible deal for Victor Gyokeres. Al Hilal also interested, but the player's priority isn't to move to Saudi Arabia. The Victor Gyokeres situation is one to watch over the current scenario of the current weeks. Now, Manchester United, through intermediaries, initial approach to Victor Gyokeres, United exploring the conditions. Listen, we've made our approach. We know that Manchester United are interested. Obviously, the financials is probably the biggest problem holding this deal back. And then the financials of Manchester United, because we didn't win the Europa League, has massively stalled us in sort of making this deal and getting this deal through. For me, Gyokeres is a striker Manchester United should go for. We all know that. And Ben Jacobs has said some interesting things, I believe. That's on Mbuemo, but on Gyokeres, that's the update right now. United is still having contact with his agents over a potential move. United obviously want the move to happen. It's just about getting the finances. Obviously, after Mbuemo, who we'll talk about in a moment, United are fully focused on getting in Victor Gyokeres. I think we are moving quite swift. Obviously, the transfer window is going to open back tomorrow. And then we'll close in June. No, sorry, not in June. Open in June and close in September. So there is a lot of time for United to do deals. Obviously, you want to get some players in before pre-season, as then you have that opportunity to gel with the team. But as I said, Gyokeres, it seems like that deal is getting close with him to Manchester United. And we've had the discussion. We know he'd be a perfect fit. And it shows the intent that Manchester United are going for. His preference is to not to move to Saudi, which means he'd want to move somewhere in Europe. Obviously, there will be clubs interested, Arsenal. But I think United look like the club leading the race at this current moment. As I said, you've got to watch the financials of the situation. But it is a deal that I think can happen relatively quickly. And I think it's a deal Manchester United will look to accelerate as soon as they can, as soon as you get the money available. I mean, if you do sell some players, which again we will talk about, Arsenal for Garnacho as well. But on Gyokeres, that's the latest. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the Garnacho and Mbuemo situation. Now, obviously, it's Thomas Frank's looking like he's going to Tottenham. There has been a lot of updates on the Mbuemo situation. Obviously, when the manager moves, everyone's going to assume that Mbuemo will go to him. Now, coming in from Ben Jacobs, listen, let's be honest. Ben Jacobs has been pretty good over this summer window. He has said Garnacho and Mbuemo has made his preference to join Manchester United clear, and all suitors are aware. Thomas Frank's expected arrival at Spurs can naturally change some transfer targets, but suggestions of a Spurs hijack from Mbuemo are now premature. Manchester United solely focus on trying to agree a fee with Brentford. Spurs are looking at a right or central attacker with Tyler Diblin on their list, but it's now Manchester United currently the only side in formal talks with Brentford. So it's looking United are leading the race. The Mbuemo deal will happen soon. Obviously, we've had that bid gone in already, being rejected. We've had that bid being rejected from them, 45 plus 10. So it's looking like the next deal or the next bid Manchester United will go in will be the one to seal the deal for Garnacho and Mbuemo. We know that deal is getting close. Obviously, Tottenham being interested. Again, with Thomas Frank going to them, he probably will sign a few players from Brentford. But yeah, listen, Mbuemo said yes to Manchester United. He wants to join Manchester United and wants to come to the club. It's all about now getting the final situation sorted, the package, the fee. And I think that's something that Manchester United will be looking to do over the next couple of days or so before moving on to potential outgoings, which we will talk about now. Garnacho is close to leaving United. His preference would be to remain in the Premier League. Chelsea lead the race for a signature, closely followed by Arsenal. Now, as I said, Garnacho to Arsenal would be absolutely crazy. I don't think he will go to them. I think Chelsea, we've always known, have had an interest in Garnacho. Now, for me at this current moment, and actually not in the current moment, I don't want to see Garnacho. I don't want to see Garnacho playing for another club in the Premier League. I think that would be a huge... It wouldn't look good on United, and it would be painful for United fans to see a player leave and go in the Premier League. Now, as I said, Garnacho, Chelsea, Premier League clubs interested is certainly something to look at. If you can get clubs interested in signing him, I certainly would look at doing that sort of deal. As I said, Garnacho is a top player with Premier League clubs interested. I think there's more. Newcastle reported, Aston Villa. So there will be clubs interested in the signing, and the fact that he will leave United, I think it will be for cheap. I have a feeling it'd be like £40 million, which is not. Now the aim should be to get 50 for someone like Garnacho, but we'll have to wait and see what does happen. He's close to leaving United. We know that Bayern, Leverkusen have been interested, but obviously do not have the financials to sign Alejandro Garnacho, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, listen, that is the latest United news at this current moment. Garnacho is close to leaving Manchester United, and we know the Mbuemo situation. He's fully focused on joining United. That is aim at the moment. Obviously, with Thomas Frank leaving Brentford, there could be reports about him potentially going there, but I think he will stay at Manchester United. Obviously, Gyokeres, we're still having talks over a fee. It's going to be a tricky deal to agree, but it's hopefully a deal that Manchester United can get done in the next couple of days. That's going to be it for the news update today. Thank you for watching. Hope you did enjoy. And yeah, let's see what happens. But this time, hopefully we'll get some interesting news. I'm expecting, well, I'm not expecting, but I'm hoping we can get a here we go soon on whether that's Mbuemo, whether that is Gyokeres. I think that deal will take a lot more time. But I think now we need to focus on outgoings. Get Garnacho gone, get Rashford gone, Anthony gone, Sancho gone. And maybe look at Højlund and Inter. Defensively, get rid of some players. Maybe Luke Shaw. See what's happening in midfield with Casemiro, Ugarte potentially. I'm not saying all these players should go, but I think Manchester United actively should be looking at getting players to lead the football club at this current moment. But as I said, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. This has been the latest Manchester United news. Stay tuned. And yeah, subscribe. Let's see who we can sign.